Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Uday Khan Khoje, a faculty member of Electrical Engineering. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the 63rd Institute Day of IIT Madras. I have the great pleasure to invite the chief guest, our director, distinguished alumni awardees, deans, the registrar, the heads of Department of Computer Science, Chemistry, Humanities, Mechanical Engineering, and the student representatives on the dais. We will start the function with an invocation, and I request you all to stand. We will have the Tamil Thai Vallathu, followed by Vande Mataram, being sung by the students.
நீராறும் கடலொடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிளமை திறம்பியந்த செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்ததுமே 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 வந்தே மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம் சுஜலாம் சுஃபலாம் மலயஜ ஷீதலாம் சஸ்யஷ்யாமலாம் மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம் शुभ्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनीं फुल्लकुसुमितद्रुमदलशोभिनीं सुहासिनीं सुमधुरभाषिणीं सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम्
I first welcome our distinguished chief guest, Sri Lakshmi Narayanan, former Vice Chairman of Cognizant Technologies, Chennai. I welcome our distinguished alumni awardees, Dr. Mrudula Nair, Sri Mahesh Vagle, Dr. Girija Vaidyanathan, Professor Vijay B. Shenoy, and Dr. Shiv Kumar Kalyanraman. I also welcome our director, Professor Kamakoti, faculty, staff, and students of IIT Madras. The students will now present fruit baskets to the chief guest, director, and the distinguished alumni awardees. Thank you. I now invite Mr. Bhanu Prakash Veldandi, the Speaker of the SLC, to present the report on students' governance.
Honorable Chief Guest, respected director sir, and the dignitaries on and off the stage, and the general student body. Namaste. I am Bhanu Prakash Veldandi, the outgoing speaker of Student Legislative Council. I would like to take this opportunity to extend my gratitude to everyone present here, the administration, the legislators, my executive council members, and the attendees. The year 2021-22 has been a successful one, and yet it is a challenging one too. The transition of events from virtual mode to on-campus conduct has been a tough challenge for all of us. Before diving deep into the activities and achievements of the student governance, I would like to brief a little bit on the present student governance system in the IIT Madras. IIT Madras has its own student constitution, to which all the student-run teams and bodies abide by. The student government has three organs: the Executive Council, the Student Legislative Council, Student Ethics and Constitution Commission. The Executive Council comprises of representatives elected in student general elections conducted by the Student Election Commission. The Student General Secretary represents the entire student body, and we have a Research Affairs Secretary representing the research scholars and handling their placements. The Academic Affairs Secretary deals with the internships and placements phase of the UG students, and also deals with the academic affairs of the entire student body. The Hostel Affairs Secretary not only deals with the hostel affairs, but also has committees for facilities of students and mess monitoring. The Cultural Affairs Secretary handles one of the biggest student-run festivals, Sarang, and also responsible for handling cultural events in the IITM. The Co-Curricular Affairs Secretary handles Entrepreneurship Cell, C5, which is Center for Innovation, and Technical Fest Shastra. The Institute Sports Secretary is responsible for handling all sports-related activities and represents IITM contingent across all formats. The International and Alumni Relations looks into alumni affairs, corporate relations, branding, and global engagement at the IITM. Apart from the institute level council, we also have a council for each hostel catering the needs of its own hostel students. The Student Legislative Council, shortly called as SLC, comprises of legislators who are representatives from department and hostel-wise. SLC deals with the approval of budgets for the student-run teams, and it also looks into the resolutions catering to the needs of general student body and the constitutional amendments for the student constitution of IIT Madras. Coming to the work done by SLC in this year, we had a total of 12 meetings with 45 agenda points, and we have discussed relevant student issues and passed pertinent resolutions. To enhance the transparency and accountability, SLC passed rule books for all the secretaries and ensured they are up to date. SLC stood with the students all through the year with their ups and downs and discussed pertinent issues such as calling back of students to campus, COVID protocols, discussion on the mental and academic health of students due to the virtual mode, etc. And we sent the relevant resolutions. We have been a very strong bridge between the administration and the student body. The third organ of student governments is Student Ethics and Constitution Commission, shortly called as SECC. Its jurisdiction is interpreting the constitution and settling the dispute between the students, faculty, and organization. SECC acts as Student Election Commission, shortly called as SEC, during the election phase and handles the entire election process. The student election of 2022 comprises 160 plus elected posts and more than 9,000 voters registered for the Executive Council, Department, and Hostel Council positions. SECC conducted a plethora of events ranging from debates, quizzes during Vigilance Week, to inviting eminent speakers like Mr. Sushil Chandra, the Chief Election Commissioner and Vice Chancellor of National Law School of India University, Dr. Sudhir Krishnaswamy, under the lecture series Voice of the State. To conclude, this academic year has seen the student governance further grow and strengthen. I really hope the same continues in the upcoming years, and the three bodies act with harmony, mutual understanding, and cooperation. I would like to appeal to the entire student body to further engage in student governance and make it better. I wish the incoming secretaries all the best, and I conclude. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you. I now invite Mr. Unman Uday Nibande, who is the Student General Secretary, to present the report on students' activities and accomplishments.
Thank you. A very warm evening and namaste. Prima facie, this phrase seems to sum up our entire 10 years, but it is actually a testament of how difficult things have been for the past year for us as a council and as the institute. My report shall justify how we overcame these difficulties and delivered a stellar performance. This goes without saying, the unwavering support received from the administration, especially our respected director, deans, HODs, faculty advisors, OHM, and the office staff. Coupled with this is the untiring effort and enthusiasm put forth by the students under the stellar leadership of my fellow co-secretaries. Our tenures began rather ominously with the onset of the second wave. In response to this, we ran the IITM Helps initiative, which was a 300 plus strong volunteer network and a crowdfunding platform established by our student Institute WebOps team, through which we raised upwards of 10 lakh rupees, which came entirely from student donations. Sati conducted impactful events like random acts of kindness, intra-city meets, and Cathartic, which is dealing through mental health via art. Extramural lectures had a diverse online lecture series with 3 vernacular lectures and great speakers like Gurudev Ravi Shankar. The IVIL team began the TEL School project, aiming to create a web repository of educational content in the regional languages. The internship season this year happened through a 2-stage day 1 process, leading to a 40% increase in the number of internships secured. We also saw a record number of 231 pre-placement offers made this year. The placement season added to the laurels by getting in the record 1,420 placement offers, which included 31 crore plus packages and 50 international offers. A cherry on the top was 21 offers secured specially for specially able students. This year also saw an addition of a consult club to the Academic of SVA to cultivate an environment of problem solving. Center for Innovation conducted its flagship open house in an hybrid setting with 3,000 plus attendees showcasing 60 plus projects. The C5 competition teams won 13 national and international awards. Shastra received the trademark affiliation for its name and logo and released a Pan-India SciTech magazine in association with the ACR office. We bagged 4 medals, 1 gold, 1 silver, and 2 bronze in the Inter-IIT Tech Meet. eCell launched eMerge, a Pan-India 15,000 plus Discord community catering to entrepreneurs. eSummit garnered 5,000 plus registrations, nurturing over 250 plus ideas and 150 plus startups. Nirman currently has 32 businesses being mentored by 25 academicians throughout the year. The cultural sphere this year expanded its spectrum of events to cater to vernacular-based participation through its flagship weekend Samprava. To aid and foster cultural skill set among the GSB, a cultural crash course was introduced, comprising of training and workshop modules. To recognize and refurbish cultural activities, TRIST, the Sangam newsletter was launched. To top it all was Sangria, the Institute Cultural Day, where awards and medals were distributed to LitSoc placeholders. Sarang 2022 saw various new additions to its portfolio, from star-studded spotlight speaker series to professional show artists. InstiSpace, an app for the students of IIT Madras, which was developed by C5 in collaboration with the Hostel of SVA to enable better coordination and transparency of the functioning of hostel councils. The IR Student Council successfully organized a global Pan-IIT conference across 5 continents, which brought together 30,000 plus alumni for discussions on various topics. Digital Campus, a one-of-a-kind massive project, created a realistic digital version of our campus to enhance our accessibility. Our institute's own media body, IITM TV, garnered an unprecedented viewership of 1 million plus views and 13 million plus impressions across a variety of videos. Global Engagement Council organized the International Youth Summit, which saw participation from global universities in Africa, Asia, and Europe. The second edition of Industry Conclave was also conducted. In the sporting sphere, the SOC conducted multiple events in the online phase of the tenure. After coming back to the campus, NSOs were conducted for 2 batches of students, and the new institute team's formation was initiated for Inter-IIT 2022. The sporting clubs conducted multiple introductory and orientation sessions, as well as institute-wide inter-hostel and interdepartmental level competitions for various sports. The Sahas campaign was launched successfully, marking the restart of sports in the institute after a 2-year gap. The Research Affairs Sphere launched Anvesha, a 3D virtual exhibition to promote dissemination of STEM topics by creative approaches, with 100 plus global scientists and the launch of a merchandise brand on STEM art designs. Media and support activities for research scholars were propelled through Kaleidoscope. The 10th edition of Research Scholars Fest was celebrated in a grand manner, with a month-long of activities having international participation. It was thus a successful year with active scholars participation and also a high record of placement stats. With this, I conclude the report on student activities and accomplishments. I am sure that I speak on the behalf of the entire wing when I say that this year has been a year of unparalleled learning on a multitude of different fronts, which will enrich our personal and professional journeys. We would also like to wish the incoming Executive Council and the wing all the very best as they enter the grind. We count on you to meaningfully bring back the institute back to its offline glory and to go even further. Finally, our prayers are with the families who have lost their near and dear ones in the pandemic. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you. I now invite our director to deliver the presidential address.
Distinguished industrialist Sri N. Lakshmi Narayan, former Vice Chairman, Cognizant Technologies, Chennai, distinguished alumnus awardees of the year, colleagues, dear students and friends, both attending physically and those watching the live webcast. This year we celebrate the 63rd Institute Day in physical mode after a gap of 2 years. Though we planned a much more elaborate function, COVID cases in the campus in the last few days has necessitated this restricted version. IIT Madras, in her last 2 years, under the able leadership of my predecessor, Professor Bhaskar Murthy, has continued to remain in the #1 position as the overall best educational institution in the country, the top engineering institution of the country, both in the NIRF framework and the top institution in the Atal ranking of institutions. I thank and congratulate all the faculty and staff and students who have put in their best efforts enabling this achievement. As stated in Ramayana, Sarvada Sukaram Mitram Dushkaram Paripalanam. It is easy to make friendship, but very difficult to maintain. It is also easy to achieve the top position, but very difficult to maintain the same. Being ranked as the #1 engineering institution for 6 consecutive years and having never ceded this position since the inception of the rankings, and that too in very tough times, reinforces our commitment to meticulously following the path set by our previous strategic plan. I am happy to inform you that the new strategic plan 2022-27 is ready and will be released shortly. More than 80 members of faculty, staff and alumni were involved in arriving at this plan. Needless to mention, we are gearing up to meet the even stiffer goals we have set for ourselves in the coming years. Institute Day is an occasion to recognize the achievements of our alumni, students, faculty and staff who have excelled in their endeavors, thereby bringing accolades to our institution. Today we recognize with pride a select few of our illustrious alumni, numbering 22, 11 each for the years 2020 and 2021. Special thanks to the distinguished alumni who have come in person to receive this award. The coveted Marty Annapurna Best Teacher Award recognizes the best teachers every year. This year, 2 faculty members share the award. This year's annual Institute Awards that recognizes faculty excellence, including 3 early career, 1 mid-career research and development awards, and 1 lifetime achievement award for their outstanding performance in research and teaching. I wish all of them even greater success in future. Members of our non-teaching staff are the backbone of our institute. Their selfless contribution during the pandemic was stellar that ensured smooth running of the institute. We will be recognizing their contribution along with the Distinguished Alumnus Awardees 2022 in a separate function around July 2022. Executive wing of the students plays a pivotal role in ensuring all student-related activities, curricular, co-curricular and cultural, are executed meticulously. They were the vital interface between the administration and the students during the COVID times. I immensely thank all the members of the outgoing executive wing and welcome the new executive wing. I am very happy to announce that the pandemic did not stop IIT Madras from her growth. Be it the number of research, consultancy and corporate social responsibility projects we have executed, be it placements and internship, number of buildings that have been constructed, number of patents that have been filed and granted, largest number of 214 last financial year. The support from alumni, including the Sudha Gopalakrishnan Brain Research Center funded by Chris and Sudha Gopalakrishnan, Professor Shastri Vedula Chair set up by Sri Yashpal Sodhi, Rohini and Nandan Nilekani Center for Indian Languages, Emphasis Center for Quantum Computing, Kotak IIT Madras Save Energy Mission, Aquamap Center for Water Management, Keep It Flowing Initiative for Hostel Refurbishment, socially relevant project funding from Capgemini. Our longest standing CSR partner, Mr. Anurag Pratap of Capgemini, is here as our guest. Welcome, Mr. Anurag. And Power Grid Corporation sponsorship for economically weaker section. I thank each and every one who have been responsible for this growth. We are moving into an era in which IITM will become an institute for all, extending our outreach to make our institute accessible to as many as possible. We have launched the first of its kind BSc program in data sciences, in which we have admitted 12,500 students. The program has multiple exits, no age bar, no cap on the number of students, can be pursued in any comfortable pace, and is reskilling and employment oriented. We are committed to reach this course to semi-urban and rural India at scale. IIT Madras has launched 9 carefully curated, high-quality, globally relevant, interdisciplinary MTech courses open for international students. These initiatives, we believe, will help us achieve the objectives of the National Education Policy NEP 2020. We are delighted to have Sri Lakshmi Narayanan as the chief guest today. Sri Lakshmi Narayanan was the CEO and Vice Chairman of Cognizant, one of India's largest IT companies. He is very passionate about supporting deep tech entrepreneurship, especially among students. He has been actively participating in the development of our institute. He is a supporter of Nirman, the pre-incubator at IIT Madras, which is a cradle for many an IITM student startup. He is an investor in many exciting startups which are poised to make a deep impact. He has graciously funded the research and development of contactless patient monitoring systems, the future of medical diagnostics. This will be one of a kind, world-class, cutting-edge technology platform at IIT Madras. He currently serves as the chair of the ICT Academy, which is doing great work in the space of developing digital training resource for faculty development, reskilling, and entrepreneurship development, the 3 major pillars of higher educational institution as per the National Education Policy 2020. We look forward to his continuous support over the years to come. The pandemic has taught us many important things. Prominent among them are discipline and cleanliness. With the appearance of multivariants, the virus seems to be planning for a long innings. The world cannot stop, and we have to learn to live with the same. The recent positive cases in the campus and the way it is getting controlled give us a lot of positive hope. First and foremost, the vaccine is working. All of our students are doubly vaccinated, and among them, those who tested positive have very mild symptoms and discomfort, much less than what one experiences due to a common cold or flu. Importantly, masking certainly helps in quick control of the spread. The situation is completely under control and no reason for panic. With these measures, I am positive that the cases in campus will drop very quickly. I thank the Tamil Nadu government, especially the Honorable Minister of Health, Tamil Nadu, the Health Secretary, Tamil Nadu, and his dedicated team, and the Greater Chennai Corporation for the great support and care they have extended to us during these testing times. I also thank our dedicated administration and hostel management team, the registrar, the deans, the chairman and vice chairman council of wardens, the chief medical officer and dedicated staff members for the 24/7 service. Of course, to our dearest students for their cooperation by strictly following the COVID protocols. With all these, I have no doubts that we as an institute are perfectly equipped to effectively handle and control such situations. I request all to continue to strictly follow the COVID protocols and stay safe. I conclude by wishing all the award winners today and wish everyone a very happy Institute Day 2022. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Professor Liji Philip, Dean Planning, to introduce our chief guest, Sri Lakshmi Narayanan.
A warm good evening to all gathered here. It is my pleasure and privilege to introduce our chief guest, Mr. Lakshmi Narayanan, to the august audience. Lakshmi Narayanan is a technology industry professional who is the co-founder and was the vice chairman of Cognizant. Since joining Cognizant Technologies in 1994, he has been instrumental in formulating the company's strategy and building and managing the organizational development centers in India, where he is based. He has played a leading role in the global information technology industry for more than 40 years, managing divisions and business units in Europe, India, and the United States, with the last few years in leadership and governance role in Cognizant's board. He is currently the chairman of ICT Academy, which is charged with developing the next generation teachers and students. He served as chairman of NASCO during 2007-8. He was also on the board of the National Skill Development Corporation. He is passionate about encouraging young minds to seek a larger purpose in life and encourage them to realize their potential through higher education and entrepreneurship. He plays an active role in ICT education and promoting research in mathematics and computer science. His association with ICT Academy, Chennai Mathematical Institute, and Tyagarajar School of Management are aimed at promoting excellence in higher education. He completed his BS and MS in electronics from Bangalore University and his master's degree in management from Indian Institute of Science. He supports young entrepreneurs through angel investments as part of the Chennai Angels and the TIE organization. Sir, I kindly invite you to address the gathering.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that nice introduction. Director, Dr. Kamakoti. Once a director, always a director, Dr. Bhaskar Ramurthy. Distinguished faculty of IIT Madras. The distinguished alumni who are gathered here on this special occasion. Students, members of the Student Executive Council, both the outgoing and the incoming. And those are the students who managed to be present on this occasion. First of all, let me congratulate you on this Institute Day, the 63rd Institute Day. It's a great honor for me to participate in this celebration. In this institution that has gained such a great reputation, as our director was talking about in terms of its ranking, in terms of being the leading technical university in the country ever since the ranking started. It's really a proud privilege for me to be with the faculty, the students, and the distinguished alumni here today. As I was coming in, I was asking, I was hoping that the students of IIT Madras would have an opportunity to interact with the distinguished alumni. But unfortunately, given the conditions that we are facing and going through, it has not been possible. I hope the Institute facilitates at least a virtual mode, in virtual mode, some participation so that the students gain through the interaction from both the faculty as well as the distinguished alumni. I do want to narrate how I started in this IT industry. This is way back in 1975, towards the end of 75, after the first ever campus interview in Institute of Science. I joined Tata Consultancy Services. And the first set of lectures in computers were started by none other than Dr. C.R. Muthukrishnan of IIT Madras. For a full 1 month, we had classes conducted by 3 eminent faculty members, Dr. Muthukrishnan, Professor Rajaram from IIT Kanpur, and Professor Vishwanathan from IIT Kanpur, the Electrical Engineering Department. That was the foundation. While I may forget a whole lot of things that happened since then, this instant of interacting with professors from eminent institution who laid the foundation is something that is unforgettable. They are the people who inspired us to be where we are. So I owe a great deal of gratitude to the faculty members and to IIT Madras for all that they've given me. I must also mention the inspiration that we derived from Professor H.N. Mahabla. We were regular in attending the classes and the lectures given by him. And again, because of the way he presents, many of you may not be aware of who Professor Mahabla was in the computer science department. Of course, many of the faculty and the distinguished alumni would remember the talk that he gave years back. I think it was in the mid-2000 about Marvin Minsky, artificial intelligence, neural networks, and his books still remain evergreen in my memory. And this IIT Madras, this institution, has benefited greatly by so many other people who have gone through the portals, particularly the faculty. And they have created so many innovative platforms and schemes that are helping literally thousands and thousands of students today. We talk about NPTEL. NPTEL as a program, again, one of the previous directors. In fact, the director, Professor Anand, was responsible for a many number of initiatives that happened at this institution. Upskilling, skilling, education, virtual education, etc. is something that is very, very strong, which is what has given the ability for this institute to offer so confidently a data science course to thousands of students with multiple exit options. He's been very active. Professor Anand was very active in chairing the DSA, the Digital Skills Academy. I think Professor Mangala Sundar is also in the audience, who's been running it in a very, very capable manner. Subsequent to that, the IIT Madras Research Park came about, and that's doing some splendid work in terms of research and application, etc. So it's with great pride that you should celebrate the Institute Day, both the faculty and the students. And because of the great work that the faculty and the directors in the past have done, it has attracted a lot of interest by well-meaning industrialists, not necessarily the alumni alone, but other people like Chris Gopalakrishnan, who's a big donor, T.T. Varadarajan, who's helping in assisted devices, T.T. Jagannathan, the entire T.T. family, Varadarajan, Raghunathan, Jagannathan are great philanthropists. Particular mention should be made of T.T. Jagannathan for the area that he has chosen and partnering with IIT Madras. And the continuing research and collaboration with the students is a great hallmark. I just want to talk about my special interests in the area of deep science and technology. It's something that I've been involved with not for too long. I believe that the age of digital transformation or the digital economy, it's got a long tail, but it is matured. No longer are e-commerce companies, e-learning companies of great interest now, but that is taking the next stage in the world of metaverse. Hopefully, I'll just mention a few words about it. But the area of deep science and technology is something that holds a lot of promise for the future, considering all the problems that we face. And there, the pastures quadrant, a particular classification model that I came to understand, is something that it's kind of the guiding light for me. It's a simple model. It's a 2x2 quadrant, which talks about the application intensity and the research intensity, or the extent of how basic the research is, how basic, core, fundamental, etc. on the one axis, and the application of research, so that it creates the maximum impact to humanity. And there are 3 quadrants of great interest. The quadrant where the research is in theoretical areas, predominantly of science. It's called the Bohr's quadrant. It represents, you can put any name there. Bohr has been the name chosen by the author Stowe, who wrote that. But it is Bohr, it could be our Meghnad Saha, it could be our Surendranath Bose, all great researchers that we as a country produced. This is in the theoretical side. Core particles, they want to add to the knowledge that is available about the universe, about nature, and so on. until the truth is found, until everything that is there to be learnt is learnt. They'll be tirelessly pursuing that. And on the x-axis, the intensity of the application, applied research. It's called the Edison's quadrant. Primarily because Edison is not credited with a great deal of research, but in terms of application, he created the greatest number of applications, or one of the greatest number of applications that impacted mankind in billions and billions. You know, everyone is aware of Edison's inventions. And the aspirational quadrant, as always, the top quadrant, is named as the Pasteur's quadrant, where it is the research intensity is high, the application intensity is also very high. Together, you know, the Louis Pasteur is a great example. Continued research, but for him, I don't know what form humanity would be today. And that's the quadrant where everybody is trying to gravitate towards. And there are funds that are focused primarily in driving the research and application activities into that Pasteur's quadrant. And there are several activities are going on right through in all these places. One of the convictions that this is something that I learned from the principal scientific advisor, Vijay Raghavan, the outgoing PSA, who used to talk about collaborative research. How can industry, how can research institutions, how can students, how can everybody collaborate in order to achieve something that is phenomenal in today's world? He would always quote the example of the Nobel Prize winners. He will say Nobel Prize in science or in physics, for example, would be given to 2 or 3 people, and those 3 would more likely be in different continents. And he'll be wondering, how did they, in the previous era, collaborate in order to produce something for which they are recognized as a group rather than as individuals? So his passion was to drive collaborative work, and there is an initiative that he started this almost a year back as part of the Bharat Innovation. And there the PSA's office is developing a platform called the Manthan platform. Manthan platform is a platform that facilitates collaboration, online collaboration between industry, between CSR foundation, NGOs, between academic institutions, between startups, between angel investors, etc. It's expected to be such a large platform that facilitates challenges being thrown at the people. We call it the opportunities and the challenges, and solutions being found by researchers and industry. And they've categorized it among those 15 odd SDG, the Sustainable Development Goals. And the development is more or less complete. NSC IT, the preeminent IT organization that can deal with large volumes of data, as they do in the case of the National Stock Exchange, is actually developing the platform. Hopefully that will be available within the next few months, and it will be, I'm hoping, a significant step in promoting collaboration between various stakeholders in order to promote and to move people from the other quadrants, the Edison's quadrant, the Niels Bohr's quadrant, and the lower quadrant where the intensity of application and research is low. It hasn't been named. Some people call it somewhat unceremoniously as a tinkering quadrant, but we will leave that aside. Our aspiration has to be towards the Pasteur's quadrant, where hopefully we in India will be able to produce a lot more companies, a lot more individuals who will be recognized for this type of work. And my interest has primarily been in that area of looking at what kind of opportunities exist. And there are a variety of opportunities in terms of vaccine development, in terms of electronics, new age electronics, in terms of 5G. We must also mention the role that people like Dr. Bhaskar Ramurthy are playing in that area. Dr. Kamakoti, Bhaskar Ramurthy, who are hoping to get the completely indigenous 4G network in India. And Dr. Ramurthy has been recognized as in the Hall of Fame of International Telecommunication Union. With brains like that, I think we are in safe hands as far as moving towards that is concerned. There is just one aspect, one particular initiative in energy that's something that is somewhat underpenetrated, Dr. Anil Kakotkar of the Department of Atomic Energy is behind that initiative, is quietly doing the science behind it. It is trying to promote thorium-based nuclear reactors, both in India as well as particularly the developing countries for the small modular reactors. His vision, his theme, his idea is we have such great expertise in high pressure, heavy water reactors that the thorium fuel cells, which have been fabricated, which are undergoing tests, which hold a lot of promise through a company in the US, can be readily fitted in, used in the Indian context as well as elsewhere in the world. If his dream were to come true, then we will have a fantastic opportunity to capitalize on providing clean, proliferation-resistant, sustainable energy for the world for the future. These are the type of initiatives I think young minds in places like IIT Madras and other institutions should actively participate in, should participate in collaborative effort, and hopefully with the help of the distinguished alumni who are present here today, both with their expertise, with their connections, with their networks, and with their purses, can help progress. Thank you very much, and congratulations once again.
Thank you, sir. I now request our director to release the Extramural Lectures Yearbook for 2021 to 22. We now move on to our Distinguished Alumni Awards. I request the respective heads of department to read the citations for the Distinguished Alumni Awardees and request the director to present the awards. I first invite Professor Chandrasekhar of the Computer Science Department.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to read the citation for Dr. Shivakumar Kalyan Raman. He received his BTech degree in Computer Science and Engineering in 1993. He is currently the CTO of Energy and Mobility, Microsoft R&D India, and Azure Global, Bangalore. Dr. Shivakumar Kalyan Raman is an exceptional technology and business executive who has had a tremendous impact measured in the hundreds of millions of US dollars across many countries, including India, Australia, Brunei, Singapore, and Malaysia, USA, Middle East, and Europe. He was an executive general manager at GE Power Conversion in Bangalore, focusing on launching new businesses in e-mobility and distributed solar for the company. Prior to that, he was a program director of special initiatives at IBM Research in Bangalore, working on Internet of Things technologies applied to solar and agribusiness. He served as chief scientist at IBM Research in Australia, working on natural resources, supply chains, and clean energy. It was unusual to move into these different areas after being a successful academic and researcher in computer networking and at RPI, where he received tenure and was promoted to full professor. His industrial work is broad, spanning a gamut of areas across computer science and electrical engineering, such as Internet of Things, AI and machine learning, energy and utilities, solutions and platforms, natural resources, transportation, network quality of service and congestion control in both ATM networks and the internet, and wireless and mobile networks. He has excelled at converting technical insights into business outcomes at GE and IBM, and as a highly visible technologist has built up strong technical teams wherever he has worked. Dr. Shivakumar Kalyan Raman's awards include Master Inventor at IBM 2017 and election to the Indian National Academy of Engineering 2015, IEEE Fellow 2010 and ACM Distinguished Scientist 2010. He has written over 200 papers with 9,800 citations and has filed over 50 patents with 35 issues. He has also served in leadership roles at several top conferences such as ACM E-Energy 2015, IEEE Infocom 2008 and ACM SIGCOM 2010 and on the editorial board of IEEE ACM Transactions of Networking. As a professor, he supervised PhD students at RPI. In addition to his success in business and technology, he is also passionate about classical music and has a wide global audience visiting his Carnatic music education website regularly. For his immense accomplishments in the field of technology and business, IIT Madras and its alumni are proud to confer the Distinguished Alumni Award upon Dr. Shivakumar Kalyan Raman. Now I request Dr. Shivakumar Kalyan Raman to receive the award.
Thank you. I now invite Professor Sanjay Kumar, the head of chemistry department.
Good evening. This is my pleasure to read citation for Dr. Mridula Nair. Dr. Mridula Nair received her MSc in chemistry from IIT Madras in 1975, followed by a PhD in chemistry from the Ohio State University in 1979 and a postdoctoral fellowship at Columbia University. She is currently a research fellow, distinguished inventor, and product leader at the Eastman Kodak Company in New York, USA. Dr. Nair has nearly 40 years of R&D experience in several aspects of science and technology. She has proven ability to lead multidisciplinary, high-performance, cross-functional teams of scientists and engineers to create novel platforms of technologies. She pioneered the evaporative limited coalescence, the ELC process, a Kodak's proprietary method for preparing microparticles engineered for controlled morphology, composition, and structural characteristics. This technology has recently found wide utility in application, ranging from smart energy harvesting layers to electrophotographic toners, by introducing the concept of control interior submicron features to design porous and compartmentalized particles. She is a creative problem solver, thought leader, and a strategic thinker with outstanding technical capabilities. Her direct contributions in chemistry and material science led to generation of new businesses spanning the area of coated textiles manufacturing, electrophotography, optical display films, life sciences, and imaging. Dr. Nair is actively engaged in commercializing her most recent innovation in smart materials. She has developed a light management material based on porous particle concept. Among other applications, this advanced material, when formulated into a high-quality, compliant fabric coating, has created a game-changing light management technology, which is well-positioned to revolutionize the industry, offering superior performance and simplification of manufacturing. Dr. Nair's work on fundamental research and technological innovation at Kodak has been extraordinary, as evidenced by her first patent. She has about 188 worldwide and 126 US patents. Kodak has repeatedly recognized the strength of her contributions. She was inducted into Kodak's Distinguished Inventors Hall of Fame in 1998, named Kodak Research Fellow in 2009, and won the prestigious Century Award for Extraordinary Achievement in Scientific and Technological Innovation in 2014. For her pioneering work in applied materials, IIT Madras and its alumni are proud to bestow this award upon Dr. Mridula Nair.
Thank you. I now invite Professor Jyotirmay Tripathi of the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences.
Good evening and namaste everybody. This is my privilege to be reading this citation for Dr. Girija Vaidyanathan. Dr. Girija Vaidyanathan is an Indian Administrative Service Officer of the Tamil Nadu cadre who served as the Chief Secretary to the Government of Tamil Nadu from 2016 to 2019. She has an exemplary academic record, having stood first among all women candidates and ninth among nearly 1 lakh aspirants in the All India Indian Administrative Services examination conducted during the year 1981. She graduated top of her class in the master's program in physics from IIT Madras in 1981. She obtained her PhD in health policy from the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, IIT Madras in 2011. In a long career spanning over 38 years, Dr. Girija Vaidyanathan has worked in various capacities in the finance department and has headed key departments such as nutrition, environment, pollution control, civil supplies, school education, health and family welfare, and land administration. She served as Chief Secretary of the State for about 2.5 years prior to her retirement. Her leadership has been described by fellow civil servants as studied, quietly reassuring, and transformative, all at once. Over a career of nearly 4 decades, she has brought about significant changes through systematic and rigorous implementation of programmatic inputs in several domains of public policy. During the period 1986-1989, she played a key role in strengthening the Tamil Nadu Integrated Nutrition Project, TINP, which soon became a role model for several other states in the country. As District Collector of Madurai, she started and spearheaded the successful literary mission in that district. The Department of Health and Family Welfare, during her tenure twice as the Secretary, witnessed several initiatives from mid-2000 which led to a significant fall in maternal and infant mortality and improved access to the public healthcare system in the state. Under her directorship, Tamil Nadu was adjudged as the best performer in the implementation of the National Health Mission, a flagship national program of the Government of India. It is well known that the state of Tamil Nadu has become a forerunner in the implementation of universal health coverage because of her direct involvement in this scheme and her commitment to strengthening the public primary health care system in the state. Her role as head of land administration in computerization of land records, as well as speeding up the acquisition of land for public purpose and enabling the recovery of large extents of encroached land back to the government, paved the way for many significant development projects in the state and has contributed to larger interests of the society in the state. In her doctoral dissertation, which is among the pioneering works of its kind in India, she examined the distributional impact of public expenditure on the use of public healthcare delivery system by the poor sections in particular in Tamil Nadu. I apologize. Arguably, Dr. Girija Vaidyanathan was the first scholar in India to have carried out a sub-regional analysis of equity in public health expenditure by pulling large national and state-level data sets. Her work bridged the research policy gap in her chosen area, a rare achievement in the field of public policy. She continues to be an active member of national and international academic consortia in the field of health systems research. Dr. Vaidyanathan's career is an illustration of how a civil servant can straddle the worlds of academics and public administration to proactively guide and strengthen the public governance system in India by institutionalizing the best practices, leaving a positive and long-lasting impact on everyday lives of the people. For her immense contribution to public service, IIT Madras and its alumni are proud to confer this award upon Dr. Girija Vaidyanathan. Now I request Dr. Girija Vaidyanathan to receive the award from the Director.
Thank you. I now invite the head of mechanical engineering, Professor Seshadri Sekhar, to come to the dais.
Good evening. Citation for Sri Mahesh Wagle. Sri Mahesh Wagle received his bachelor's in mechanical engineering from IIT Madras in 1976, followed by an MS in mechanical engineering from Sunny Buffalo in 1981. He is the founder and director of Cybernetic Technologies Private Limited, which designs path-breaking technologies in areas covering automation in the process, manufacturing, and agricultural process industry. After graduating from IIT Madras, he had a brief stint as a graduate trainee engineer at Tata Motors, the then Telco, following which he completed in MS in mechanical engineering from Sunny Buffalo, where he initiated research in actuator load dynamics, which led to a research program for over 10 years in the department. He worked briefly as a senior design engineer at Kellogg Technology Corporation before returning to India. Back home in Pune, he founded Buffalo Design Research Private Limited, which grew into Cybernetic Technologies Private Limited the next few years. Over the years, Mahesh has worked in all areas of engineering, starting from mechanical engineering to instrumentation, controls, robotics, process, and smart factory automation. Today, Cybernetic Technologies employs more than 400 people spread over 4 plants. It has progressed from a design-only company to a large-scale design and manufacturing company. This company has also diverged from manufacturing agricultural, pharmaceutical equipment in the 80s to food processing, distillation, automation, and robotics today. The company also manufactures microbrewers to make craft beers. Fully automated conveyance distribution system, laser point cloud, high-speed vision, and machine intelligence are the latest technologies offered by his company to the global customer base. For his achievements in the field of manufacturing and his contributions to the industry in India, IIT Madras and its alumni are proud to bestow this award upon Sri Mahesh Wagle. Now may I request Sri Mahesh Wagle to receive the award from the director. I have the privilege of reading one more citation from Mechanical Engineering Department. Professor Vijay B. Shenoy. Professor Vijay B. Shenoy obtained his BTech degree from IIT Madras in 1992. He went on to obtain his MS from Georgia Tech 1994, PhD from Brown University in 1998. Following a short stint at IIT Kanpur, he has been at the Indian Institute of Science since 2002. Professor Vijay B. Shenoy works in the Center for Condensed Matter Theory and is a professor in the Department of Physics at the IISc Bangalore. The research focus of his team is cold atom physics in the area of topology and correlations in fermionic systems. This topic has potential applications in developing superconductors that work at room temperature and quantum computers. For his research, Professor Shenoy was awarded the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award for Science and Technology, the highest science award in India in the year 2013 in the Physical Sciences category. Prior to that, he has been chosen for the following awards: Fellow IAS, Raja Ramanna Prize in 2011, Nasi Scopus Young Scientist Award 2009, INA Young Engineer Award in 2005, and INSA Medal for Young Scientist in 2002. For his accomplishments and contributions to the field of theoretical and condensed matter physics, IIT Madras and its alumni are proud to bestow this award upon Dr. Shenoy. Now I request Professor Shenoy to receive the award from the director.
Thank you. The following awards were already presented to the distinguished alumni. Professor Shiv Ramakrishna Balachandar, who is the William F. Powers Professor at the University of Florida, and Dr. Suresh Kumar, who is the Executive Vice President of Walmart. We also have 15 awardees who could not be present today. I will briefly read their names out. Shri Chandran Ratnaswamy, Shri Paresh Chari, Shri Rajkumar Duraiswamy, Professor Vishwanathan Kumaran, Dr. Ramakrishnan Shrikant, Shri Arvind Nitya Rakshak, Professor Jayaram Chandrasekhar, Dr. Ram Duvuru Sriram, Professor B.S. Satya Prakash, Shri Yogesh Gupta, Professor Ravi Subramanian, Shri R. Madhavan, Dr. Srinivasan K.G. Ganapati, Shri Ajay Kaushal, Shri Prasanna Ramaswamy. I now request the distinguished alumni awardees to deliver acceptance speech in the order that they received. So I first invite Dr. Shiv Kumar Kalyan.
Dear Chief Guest, Lakshmi Narayanan, dear Director Kamakoti, past Director Bhaskar Ramurthy, distinguished guests, faculty, staff and students. It is a huge honor just to get into IIT Madras, as we all know. And it's an even greater honor to stand amongst you today to receive this unique recognition with humility. I would like to thank first my family, especially my parents, my wife and children who are here, and extended family members who are the roots, foundation, and pillars of my life. Thanks to my gurus, both in academia, industry, and in fine arts. It's not just the gurus for my music, but also my gurus here in IIT Madras in the school. And a network of wonderful friends, many of whom are here, and colleagues to whom I'd like to dedicate this recognition. We are who we are in small part due to our own efforts, but a far larger measure due to grace, due to chance, and the incredible opportunities and collaboration we have been fortunate to be part of. IIT Madras taught me how to learn, even before coming to the campus here. Okay, as we all know, going through the rigmaroles of JEE. But I think the idea of first principles thinking, first principles learning was something that was deeply instilled in me here. And I was fortunate to continue that throughout my life. And it's not just that magic happens normally, it's because of the faculty who are here, the gurus, the staff, the students, your peers, as well as the paradise of the environment that's around you, right? It's really a unique environment in which to engender a culture of learning, first principles thinking that is there with our lifetime. That's a unique gift that the institution provides us. And I cannot thank enough the institution for that. The spirit of learning enabled me to move from one discipline to the other, from computer science, where I did my bachelor's, master's, and PhD, to electrical communication engineering, where I was fortunate to be a faculty member and went through an academic life, and then further into a wide variety of applied areas across countries in areas like power systems to clean energy, electric mobility, agriculture, and so on. Also got an opportunity to learn from first principles, business, finance, and so on. Work with interdisciplinary teams of incredible depth in various institutions across the world and across cultures, across academia and in multiple continents. So teaching is the best way of learning. I had an incredible opportunity to teach in academia, and I always miss my roots in academia, ever since I've moved away from academia. And the process of teaching, I also included in my hobby, Carnatic music, and I put out some music classes online, which have picked up a large following, and it has been very helpful. So what it teaches me is that even small things that you do as a hobby, if you do it persistently and for a long time, it has a compounding effect that can help and touch lives of millions. It has also helped me shape creativity in my personal life and professional life. So I wish you one of the challenges I see as students prepare for JEE and so on is the inability to potentially balance both the studies and artistic forms of endeavor. I got the opportunity to do that, and I wish upon future students to be able to try that and really pursue that. I wish the students here a wonderful life and a wonderful future ahead. I ask of you to be fearless. Just like we grew on the shoulders of our giants before us, you are standing on the shoulders of giants who came before you. India has a fantastic opportunity, and it's far, far greater opportunity than we had when we graduated, and likewise the generation before us. Go chase your dreams and have a big impact. Value your network, your family as much as you value yourself, and do give back. Thanks once again to IIT Madras for this fantastic and wonderful recognition. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I now invite Dr. Mridula Nair.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, sorry. The mask and me, we go together. Sorry about that. Director Kamakoti, past director Ramurthy, who was the director when I received this award, Sri Lakshmi Narayanan, Professor Panchagnula, distinguished guests, my fellow awardees, faculty and students. I am so deeply honored to receive the 2020 IIT Madras Distinguished Alumna Award given by India's #1 engineering institution. What an incredible honor, what an incredible recognition. I just am in awe that I received this and so humbled. What a defining moment in my life. Thank you. Thank you, IIT Madras. It is humbling to imagine that I am now featured amongst the outstanding, high-caliber recipients of this award, past and present, from this illustrious academic institution. I cannot let this occasion pass without recognizing that I am receiving this award as a woman scientist come engineer in STEM, and I hope that this will inspire many more women to pursue such careers in STEM. This can only happen with major societal changes in India and with institutions such as IIT Madras, mentoring women, professors, young professors, to become leaders one day and serve as role models. I'm hoping to come back one day in the near future and see a director in IIT Madras who is a woman. Many thanks to the selection committee and the Office of Alumni Affairs for this award that they have conferred on me. The award would not have been possible without the opportunities and the support that I have received from the Eastman Kodak Company in Rochester, New York, where I have worked for the past 42 years. My talented R&D collaborators, and my high-performance teams. Thanks to all of them. I dedicate this award to my deeply caring parents who are not with us anymore, but I know who are watching from somewhere, my family, and their inspiration, guidance, and support, especially my son Vivek, for his patience and encouragement. I share this recognition with my spouse, Sri Kumar, who is in the audience and who is an IIT Madras alumnus as well, for making me believe that an organic chemist can break boundaries and do almost anything, from making complex organic molecules to integrating systems in digital printing, and now building a manufacturing factory. With great respect, I express my appreciation to my excellent academic and industrial preceptors, in particular, Professor K.K. Balasubramaniam of the chemistry department here at IIT Madras, who is now retired, who sparked my interest in research methodologies and scientific exploration. I dearly thank him, and I wish he was here today. He was invited, but unfortunately, given his age, He didn't want to risk COVID and given the outbreak at IIT, so he chose to stay home, but I wish he was here. I just thank him so much. It's entirely appropriate that I celebrate this award with all like-minded, aspiring idealists in pursuit of their dreams for the sake of the promise the dream holds for humanity, believing that opportunities will materialize along the way in the face of many setbacks. I hope that this award will inspire those who are adventurous enough to look beyond disciplinary confines and explore and innovate freely, learning as they tread the unfamiliar. Finally, I want to leave all students assembled here, in fact, all of you, with the words of Rumi, the poet Rumi. Don't be satisfied with stories, how things have gone with others. Unfold your own myth. In other words, unfold your own story. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I now invite Dr. Girija Vaidyanathan.
Good evening, everyone. Respected Director, Professor Kamakoti, Chief Guest, Mr. Lakshmi Narayan, former Director, Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy, fellow distinguished alumni awardees, all those who are gathered in the audience, faculty and students. I think all the awardees before me have echoed how much of a pleasure, honor, and humbling experience it is to receive this award. My connection to IITM is very special. I never tire of saying this, but we have a common birth month and year. As a matter of fact, both of us started our life in July 1959. Another unique feature of my association is that unlike all the other awardees, and I think many of the students here, I have entered the hallowed halls of this institute twice. Once in 1979, let's say from the front entrance of the Humanities and Sciences block to do an MSc in Physics. Then once again in 2005, through another entrance to do a PhD in health policy. So it's not an exaggeration to say that I honestly consider IIT a second home. I refuse to go away. Of course, on the counter side, home is also a bit like IITM because my husband has studied here, my son has studied here, and a lot of family members have studied here. So it works both ways, but it makes me proud, happy, and contented to say that I'm attached to this institution in ways that many of you young people can't even imagine. I am one of those who chose a career where I could not practice the subject I learned. That is, after an MSc, I went on to public administration. But I did come back full circle nearly 25 years later to learn a subject which I was practicing, that is health policy. So I heard the other distinguished alumni talk about the skills that they learned here and which they went on to harness to go on in their careers. But for me, what the early years in IIT gave me was something special, an exposure to some of the brightest minds, both in terms of the teachers who taught me, as well as of the students who studied with me, an atmosphere of competitive academics, analytical thinking, as he said, back to first principles. This is what we all learnt when we all unlearned what we had learnt till then and came and learnt it again in these, in the idyllic atmosphere of this campus. And these were all humbling and enabling at the same time. And when I went in to face real life challenges in a completely different field, I had the strength and the skills to face them with determination and with systematic problem solving skills. I think that's what I took to my real life career, and I think there was very little that I cannot say is due to the experience I had here. I'd also like to bring to your notice, we are the dinosaurs here. In 1980s, early 80s, when I joined the civil service, there were less engineers. Now, you'd find that every other person, or even more than that, are actually technically trained. But when I went in, it was almost 50-50 or even less than that. A lot more liberal arts people. So when I went from here, and as I said, dinosaurs that we were still having computers that filled the room, and we were still working with microprocessors the year I passed out. So, but we still took with us the idea that technology can make a difference. We learnt about technology, so that stayed with me for, as somebody pointed out, my 40 years of working, and I always could look to technology to find solutions, and very often I could look to IIT Madras itself, because I had the luxury of working in and around the same place, so I could look back to see whether there were technological solutions which could answer the problems we are facing. For that also, I'm very grateful to this institute. I have a lot of other thank yous to say as well, and this is one opportunity to say them. I'm first and foremost grateful to God for having brought me to this institution. I think many of you here will feel the same way much later in life also. This paved the way for me to receive this award today. I'm also thankful, as Mridula said, for my parents who encouraged me to follow my choices. And if you think this was many, many years ago, when a woman wanting to do physics first and then wanting to follow a career in the civil services would have not been very conventional. So I really thank my parents for having supported me, especially my mother, who passed away early this year. She heard about my award and she was very proud that I had received it. Without her, I could not have achieved the fragile balance between family and career, which is so important for a woman in any walk of life. Of course, my husband, Raja Vaidyanathan, another IIT alumnus, has been my rock, the person behind my smooth career path. He's played a major role in my achievements, much more than I can say within the 2 or 3 minutes that I'm making a speech here today. I cannot thank him enough. As also my son and daughter and their families, who have been a great source of joy in my life and who have motivated me to do my best to make them all proud, my extended family as well. This is also the time to think of and thank all my professors and teachers, especially Professor Shobna Adri, who was then my head of department in physics, my MSc guide for the project, and he still remains in touch with me now that we have WhatsApp and email. He still writes to me every month in an endearing way to find out how I'm doing. He's past 85 now, but he still writes to me. And today he wished me well for the function and said the same thing that Mridula said, that he could not be here because he could not make it from Bangalore. So to all those who taught me at that time, I'm very grateful. And more in the present, I would like to express my gratitude to Professor Muralidharan, my PhD guide, and now my friend and colleague who I work with very closely, who has been completely responsible to help me straddle this fine line between academics and public policy. It would not have been, again, possible for me to rise to this, to even take up this challenge without his support. Thanks are due to not only the present director, but the past directors of IIT. I'm happy that Professor Bhaskar is here, as well as Professor Anant, who you mentioned, all of whom made me believe that I could re-enter the academic world. Much to my own, I was not very certain at that time, but they assured me that I could be here and make a contribution in spite of my, what I call, advancing age and also my civil service career. So thank you all. And of course, within my job, I'm grateful to all those in my career, bosses, colleagues, juniors, who made my ride and journey purposeful and enjoyable. It has been great these last 38 years, which started out here, and now I stand before you. I thank you. I thank all of them who have made that possible. I'd like to end by saying that this award is definitely important. It is, as she said, it's a changing moment in my life. It's a defining moment. But it is not the only thing. And for all of you who are here, alumni who are here, students who are here, I think you've already got an award. That is the award, the gift, the privilege that you're already studying here. I think it is for you to take this gift, take this experience and make it into something special, to make an impact on the society around you, make a difference wherever you go. If IIT today has been for the last few years, the last 6 years, I think, if I remember right, the top institution, it's because of all of you, the faculty and the students who made this possible. I have no doubt that you will stand on the shoulders of all of us who went before you and make this possible for many years to come. I once again congratulate not only my fellow DIA awardees, but Professor Bhaskar, who is receiving the Lifetime Award, all the others, both students and faculty who are receiving awards here, and I said, completely humbled and grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Now invite Shri Mahesh Wagle.
Thank you very much. Director IIT Madras, Chief Guest, and all my fellow IIT friends, faculties. I am truly humbled to receive this award. The reason is simple. 51 years back, I got through the gates of this IIT. I came from a nondescript place in the middle of Maharashtra. Madras was a big apple for me. And I entered this place, I learned a lot of things. I learned engineering. As everybody said, we learned engineering with the first principles. Besides, I also learned a lot of things. I learned to eat whatever was put to me in the plate. The hostel mess was excellent. To break down all my habits, eating habits, I learned to wash my clothes. I learned to repair my cycle. And I also learned to sort of master subjects in exactly 3 hours. So those were the days where we could complete the entire nuclear engineering textbook in 3 hours and give the exam next day. But those were the days which also taught me a lot of engineering in a hard way. Primarily because IIT Madras those days was considered really, I mean, we went through almost rigorously all the workshop training. And to me, all that training, in this, let's say, whatever mechanical engineering subjects we learned, everything came to my help because I remained engineer all through my life. And even today, I use calculator. I mean, people laugh at me, but that's what I have, and that's how I'm built. But engineering remains close to my heart, and this award means a lot to me. It recognizes, it is a recognition given by my institute, which really taught me the engineering, and I therefore thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'd like to now invite Professor Vijay Shenoy.
Good afternoon. Respected Director of IIT Madras, Professor Kamakoti, Mr. Lakshmi Narayana, Professor Bhaskar Ramurthy, and all of you, very good afternoon. Well, I'm overwhelmed. Thank you very much for this honor. That's all I can say. Well, it was more than 30 years back that I reached Ganga Hostel on a summer afternoon. Little did I know that this will initiate a transformation in my life. With hostels named after rivers and buses named after mountain peaks, it was clear that I have to aim to stop the mountains or move the mountains and stop the rivers in an environmentally friendly fashion, of course. And one of the things IIT Madras taught me is that I should not try to do just what I can do, but I should really aim to do what I may be able to do, in the sense that I should challenge myself to do things that are important and interesting. So this is what I learned from IIT Madras, that I should really challenge myself. And this brought me to ISC Bangalore, and the Department of Physics at IIT Bangalore is the real recipient of this award, because they really created the environment where I could thrive with my student collaborators and my faculty collaborators. So I'm really here as a representative of that department and the students there. And none of this would have been possible without my family's support. So my parents have tirelessly worked for my well-being and for my progress. And my wife Gopika and my son Devansh have always been with me. And this award really is for them. So in conclusion, I promise all of you that I'll try my very best to really deserve this award at some point, given all the wonderful achievements of the other awardees who I really congratulate. So with that, I thank you very much.
Thank you. Now I invite the Dean of Students to read the names of the organizations selected for receiving donations from Sarang and Shastra in 2022. I also request Professor Kamakoti, the Director, to hand over the donation.
Good evening to everyone. So donations from Shastra and Sarang teams, student teams. So one, donation from Shastra team, the United Orphanage for the Disabled, Coimbatore. So they are working tirelessly towards orphanage for disabled and old age people. Please come forward. Sri Dr. Radhakrishnan. Shastra team has also donated towards Deepam Trust from Chennai. They work tirelessly towards Annadhanam, medical aid and education for the needy. Thank you very much, sir. Donation from the Sarang team, the Minds Foundation India, Andhra Pradesh, and they work with mental wellness. Thank you very much.
I request the Dean of Students to now introduce the new executive wing of the student body and request our director to present mementos to the outgoing executive wing.
Yes. Once again, good evening. So, outgoing executive wing members, outgoing speaker, Mr. Bhanu Prakash Velandy. Incoming speaker, Girish Mahavar. Please. Outgoing Student General Secretary, Unman Uday Nibande. Incoming Student General Secretary, Ajay Singh Sitole. Yes. Outgoing Secretary, Academic Affairs, S. Siddhartha Narayan. Incoming Secretary, Ram Kamal. That's fine. Outgoing Secretary, Research Affairs, Vamani Perumal. Then outgoing Secretary, Hostel Affairs, Gaujala Chinmay. Incoming Secretary, Hostel Affairs, Rithik Gudavali. Outgoing Secretary, Co-Curricular Affairs, Nitish Gupta. Incoming Secretary, Co-Curricular Affairs, Vaibhavi Patnaik. outgoing Secretary Sports, Srinivas Mahesh Jagdale. Incoming Secretary Sports, Rudra Samir Nair. Outgoing Secretary Cultural Affairs Arts, Sai Prakash Velagala. Incoming Secretary Cultural Affairs and Arts, K. Sriram. Outgoing Secretary Cultural Affairs Literary, Ajmal Hussain. Incoming Secretary Cultural Affairs Literary, S. Jai Santosi. Outgoing Secretary International and Alumni Relations, Sarthak Sandeep Marathe. Incoming Secretary I&AR, Satyendra Pandey. Right. Outgoing Students Head, Center for Innovation, Dhanvi Raj Jain. Incoming Students Head, CFI, Abhignan Chattopadhyay. Incoming Mitra Student Head, Ansari Usama Sakil Ahmad. Yes, yes. One more. Outgoing Students Ethics and Constitution Commission, Chief Commissioner, Mihir Chawla. Incoming Students Ethics Constitution Commission, Chief Commissioner, Ardra.
I now request the Dean of Students to read out the names of the Institute Blues awardees, and I request the Director to present the awards.
Brisa Gupta, Silver Medal. Mr. L. Calvin, Bronze Medal. Mr. G. Pranav Hari, Bronze Medal. Varsa Gopal, Certificate of Merit. A. Satvik, Certificate of Merit. Yaswant G. Talwar, Certificate of Merit. Srinivas Mahesh Jagdale, Certificate of Merit. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We now move on to the outgoing institute officials. I invite the Dean of Administration to announce the institute officials who had completed their terms of office during the academic years 2019 to 20, 20 to 21, and 21 to 22, and may I request our director to present mementos to them.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. It's my privilege to read out the names of the officials who serve the institute, and this is for the last 3 years. So I would start with Dr. Srikanth for his role as Head of Engineering Design. Dr. Sanyasi Raj, Head of Ocean Engineering and Co-Chairman of Engineering Unit. Professor Manu Santanam, Advisor Training and Placement and Head of Civil Engineering. Professor P.N. Santosh, Advisor Sports, Gymkhana. Professor K. Murali, Chairman Engineering Unit. Professor Robinson, Co-Chairman and Chairman Engineering Unit. Professor Preeti, Chairperson, Women's Forum. Professor Mishra, Dean of Academic Research. Professor Karnakaran, Head Department of Biotechnology. Professor Ramesh Babu, Head Department of Mechanical Engineering. Professor Sethupathi, Head Department of Physics. Professor Hari Shankar, Chairman, Computer Center. Professor Sheshadri Shekhar, Professor in charge of Central Workshop. Professor Amit, Management Representative, ISO 9000. Professor Shiv Nagendra, Liaison Officer. Professor Sanyasi Raju, President, Staff Club. Professor Vetrivel, Secretary and President, Staff Club. Professor Satyanarayana Gubadi, Chairman, CW and Hostel Management. Professor Rangarao, Advisor for Mitra. Professor Vijay Lakshmi, Advisor for Sati. Professor Ravi Kumar, Advisor of Internship. So Ravi is not here, it looks like. Professor Sudarshan, Advisor, Student Affairs Council and Student Legislative Council. Dr. Anup Kumar Bandari, Chief Election Officer. I know, I saw. Dr. Ratna Kumar, Deputy and Chief Election Officer. Professor Mangal Sundar, Head Department of Chemistry. Dr. Shaikh Farooq Ali, Advisor Co-Curricular. Professor Suresh Kumar, in charge of NCC. Professor Narayanasamy, Professor in charge of the Institute website. Professor Mahesh, Professor in charge of IIT Madras Incubation Cell. Professor Benny Raphael, Advisor Sports. Professor Tyagaraj, Vice Chairman, Hostel Management. Professor Devendra, Head of Electrical Engineering. Professor Malikarjuna, Secretary, Staff Club. Dr. V. Sriram, Deputy Election Officer. Dr. Arun, Professor Arun Tangirala, Chairman of the Vanavani High School Managing Committee. So the last outgoing official was this year. We request the chief guest to give Professor Kamakoti a memento for his services to ICSR as Associate Dean before he became Director. Thank you. The Institute thanks all of the officers for their services.
Thank you. We now move on to the Institute Research and Development Awards. I invite the Dean of Academic Research to announce the winners of the Institute Research and Development Awards for the academic year 21 to 22, and to also read the citation for the awardees. May I request our chief guest to present these awards.
The Early Career Research and Development Awards go to Dr. Ethiraja Mani, Department of Chemical Engineering. Dr. Ethiraja Mani is an associate professor in the Department of Chemical Engineering. He received his PhD from IIT Bombay in 2009. After postdoctoral research at Utrecht University and the University of Amsterdam, he joined IIT Madras in November 2011. Dr. Mani specializes in the study of soft materials. Dr. Mani's research is focused on understanding structures and dynamics of soft materials using computational and experimental methods. In particular, his research is aimed at unraveling microscopic mechanisms at the molecular and mesoscopic levels that underpin macroscopically observable phenomena. He has supervised 4 PhD and 2 MS dissertations and is currently guiding 10 PhD scholars. His group has published over 45 papers in reputed peer-reviewed international journals. Among his notable distinctions are the Amar Dai Chem Award for Excellence in Research and Development in 2016, the Young Faculty Recognition Award of IIT Madras in 2014, the Shaw Schulman Award for the Best PhD Thesis in the area of Colloid and Interface Sciences in 2010, and the R.G. Mandane Best PhD Thesis Award, IIT Bombay in 2009. He is also the recipient of the Fulbright Nehru Fellowship in 2019 and the DAD Visiting Fellowship to the University of Dusseldorf 2014 and the Technical University of Berlin 2015. Indian Institute of Technology Madras is proud to recognize Dr. Ethiraja Mani with the Institute Research Development Award Earlier Career Level 2022. Also a recipient of the Early Career Research and Development Award is Dr. Arnab Rith, Department of Chemistry. Dr. Arnab Rith is an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry. He joined IIT Madras after receiving his PhD from WWU Münster, Germany, and postdoctoral stints at RWTH Aachen, Germany, and the University of Oxford, UK. Dr. Arnab specializes in the field of organometallic and main group chemistry. Dr. Arnab's research mainly focuses on the development of main group and transition metal oxide complexes of N-heterocyclic carbene NHC ligands as efficient catalysts for diverse, especially green, chemical transformations. His approach in this area is primarily aimed at establishing a straightforward but elegant strategy to control the catalytic activities of these metal complexes via modification of the ancillary NHC ligands, which would be extremely helpful for the future design of various efficient catalyst systems. He has supervised 8 MSc and 2 PhD theses and is currently guiding 10 PhD scholars. Among his notable distinctions are the SERB Early Career Research Award, the DST Inspire Faculty Fellowship, and the Marie Curie Postdoctoral Fellowship awarded by the European Union at the University of Oxford. Indian Institute of Technology Madras is proud to recognize Dr. Arnab Rith with the Institute Research and Development Award, Early Career Award 2022. Also a recipient of the Early Career Research and Development Award is Dr. Palhab Sinha Mahapatra of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, who is unable to join us this evening. The Mid-Career Research and Development Award goes to Dr. Srinivas Rao Bakshi, Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. Dr. Srinivas Rao Bakshi is professor in the Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. He obtained his PhD from Florida International University in 2009 and joined IIT Madras in 2010. Professor Bakshi specializes in powder metallurgy and surface engineering. His group has studied reactive sintering for low temperature fabrication of ultra high temperature ceramics, metal and ceramic matrix composites, and novel materials such as high entropy alloys and high entropy ceramics. He is currently heading the Surface Modification and Additive Research Technologies Laboratory, equipped with a cold spray and high velocity oxy-fuel coating system. The laboratory is focused on thermal spray coatings for resistance to wear, corrosion and oxidation, metallization of ceramic and polymeric materials, and repair and additive manufacturing. Professor Bakshi has supervised 7 PhD and 2 MS dissertations and is currently guiding 11 PhD scholars. His group has published 95 papers having more than 4,500 citations with a H index of 36. He has 1 Indian patent and has applied for 3 Indian patents. Among his notable distinctions are the MP MD Young Leader Professional Development Award 2014 from TMS USA and Institute Research and Development Award Junior Level by IIT Madras 2016. He serves on the editorial board of the Composite Interfaces Journal. Indian Institute of Technology Madras is proud to recognize Professor Srinivas Rao Bakshi with the Institute Research and Development Award Mid-Career Level 2022. It's now a pleasure to announce the Lifetime Achievement Award, which is awarded to Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy, Department of Electrical Engineering. Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy is being conferred with the Lifetime Achievement Award in recognition of his outstanding contributions to IIT Madras in his capacity as a researcher, professor, dean, and director. An alumnus of IIT Madras, Professor Ramamurthy obtained his BTech degree in electronics from the institute and his MS and PhD degrees in electrical engineering from the University of California, Santa Barbara. He joined the electrical engineering department at IITM as a faculty and went on to serve as Dean Planning and Director. Under Professor Ramamurthy's leadership, IIT Madras was ranked number 1 in the overall category for 3 consecutive years in the National Institutional Ranking Framework, NIRF. The institute was ranked number 1 in the engineering institutions category for 6 consecutive years. In addition, it was also judged the most innovative institution in the country in the Atal ranking of institutions on innovation achievements. During his tenure, IIT Madras received the distinction of being an institution of eminence. Professor Ramamurthy was instrumental in the rapid expansion of campus infrastructure, including a satellite campus called the Discovery Campus to accommodate the increase in research requirements. Professor Ramamurthy's areas of specialization are communications and signal processing. He is a passionate teacher and is particularly admired for his intuitive expositions of complex mathematical ideas. His research has been in the areas of wireless networks, modulation, wireless data, and audio and video compression. He was awarded the University of California Regents Fellowship during his doctoral studies. He is a founding member of the Tenet Group of IIT Madras, which has made significant contributions to developing telecom and networking technologies and incubating companies to develop and market products. He is the principal architect of the Cordect Wireless Local Loop System and the broadband Cordect Wireless DSL system widely deployed in India and 15 countries. He is also the Honorary Director of the Center of Excellence in Wireless Technology, a public-private initiative at IIT Research Park, committed to making India a wireless technology leader. Professor Ramamurthy was instrumental in the development of the indigenous 5G standards for India, 5GI, during his tenure as the chairperson of the Telecommunications Standards Development Society India, TSDSI. Professor Ramamurthy is a fellow of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, IEEE, and of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, INAE. Among his many awards are the Vasvik Award for Electronic Sciences and Technology, the Tamil Nadu Scientist Award for Engineering and Technology, the India Semiconductor Association Techno-Visionary Award, and the Doyens of Madras Award. In recognition of his outstanding contributions, the Institute is delighted to confer the Lifetime Achievement Award 2022 on Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy. He is also designated as an Institute Professor of IT. I request Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy to deliver his acceptance speech.
A very good evening to all of you assembled here, in particular to our honored chief guest, Mr. Lakshmi Narayanan, Director Kamakoti, so many of my colleagues, distinguished alumnus awardees. I have only one sentiment to express today, and that is gratitude, gratitude, and gratitude. I will, first as a student and then as my career as a faculty member of IIT Madras can broadly be divided into two sort of segments. One which is one closest to my heart, which is as a professor and researcher, and the second as an administrator. I'll first come to my focus a little bit on my role as a professor and researcher. I really don't know why so many people and so many institutions would give so much of their resources, their money, their time, their energy to permit somebody to learn over all these years. I really owe everything to my guru, my teachers, my parents-in-laws, colleagues, many students, innumerable students, project staff who have worked with me, industry who have, Indian multinationals, small, big, who have supported a lot of the R&D that we did, and also gave me a lot of grants. And the Government of India, Ministry of Telecommunications, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Ministry of Education. Really, there's no reason, when I look back, why all of them should have been so generous. I hope I have delivered, at least to some degree, in what they were looking for. Teaching was always and always remains a passion, and of course had to step back during the years as administrator. I just couldn't manage it, but now I get a chance to go back to it. But in the early years, I did a lot of teaching because there were so few faculty in my area, which is wireless communications, signal processing. When I started here, there were only about two of us, my former teacher and myself. And of course, later on, we built the group. It's very large now. So I did a lot of teaching to my heart's content. Became a passion and almost fanatical desire to build systems in the country, to make sure that we can build state-of-the-art systems for telecommunications and deploy them, commercialize them. Even starting as early as 1988, 2 years after I joined here, I don't know why, but the Department of Telecommunications, somebody there decided to give a fairly large project to build a system. I was learning on the job. Many of you know in PhD programs, you don't get to learn to build anything. But here, along with my colleagues and students, we learned how to build these systems, and it grew and grew and grew. And today, just a few days back, we placed our 5G call from a commercial phone through the system that my brilliant younger colleagues have built. So it's been a learning experience. A lot of people have learned along with me these years. Many of them are there in all the companies, telecom companies in India, particularly in Bangalore. And the second part of this journey as a researcher was something that I did not set out to do, which is to build the capability in the country to contribute and participate in global wireless standardization. Somewhere in the mid-2005 or so, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology felt, rightly enough, that we must do it. And I was asked whether I could take that as effort. I told them I've never done this before, but still I was asked to do it. And we set up the Center of Excellence in Wireless Technology to give us the flexibility to do this. It's a very different kind of research. It's a very different kind of schedules you have to maintain, and a lot of travel to global standards meetings. Cannot be done in a purely academic setting. So we set that up, and it took many years to learn how to do it and to learn how to do it well. And finally, there was some very important contributions important for India, in the Indian use case, particularly our rural use case, which we wanted in 5G. It did not get into the global 5G standard initially in the way it should have been. So we rolled out a sort of upgraded variant of 5G called 5GI from India. But finally, I think the value of what we were doing was understood, and now it has been rolled back into the 5G standard. In the next release, it will be part of the global standard. So this has also been a great learning experience. Again, I don't know why people would, the government and so many other institutions would, put in the resources to allow me and my colleagues to learn. But we did that, and it's come to some distance. The Center of Excellence in Wireless Technology, all my colleagues there, I also should mention them. I'm not naming anybody because it's just too many. Teachers who have taught me not just the discipline, not just the subjects, not just the expertise, but also so many specific things. I can, if I had the time, I could name individuals and say, I learned this from this X person, Y, this from Y, and so on. Teachers at IIT Madras, teachers in UCSB, where I did my PhD, mentors at my supervisor, mentors at Bell Labs, where I spent a little bit of time, mentors here. This is one part of my career. The second part, which again I didn't really plan to or even thought of getting into, is in administration. The director before me was responsible for bringing me into this. I became a dean, and then the dean of planning, and then one thing led to another, and I became director. But again, in those 16 years, and particularly in the 10 years as director, almost all colleagues, so many of them in the institute, faculty, staff, and all the students, it was a great journey building this institute step by step. Not just the infrastructure, not just the ambience, but also building up our research capability, our coursework, our new programs, all of that. And it is a fantastic journey. The part that I really enjoyed and gave me unalloyed joy was when colleagues would come to me and discuss some audacious idea that they have to pursue, but typically in R&D, but also in other things. For example, the online program that we launched, so many other things. And the joy of being able to see how the institute and I myself can help in making that dream a reality was really something that is irreplaceable. I mean, that is the one part of being a director that's really fun and I miss. So I can think of so many such initiatives that I was able to be part of and help in some fashion, which gave me tremendous amount of satisfaction. So this is the second part of it, and I have to thank all the people, all my colleagues and all my senior colleagues from whom I learned whatever little administration I knew, and the colleagues with whom I worked in everything from building infrastructure to academic programs to research to R&D to research park, incubation, the whole works. Finally, in doing all of this, very often I bit off more than I could chew. Sometimes more landed on my plate than I wanted. And in all of this, the people who took the slack were my family, my wife and my children. So of course, there's no way I can thank them because, obviously my frailties, my shortcomings would come into play when such a thing happened, and the burden always fell on them. So I must thank them, if it's possible to do so, for all the support that I've got. It's been, I'm right now I can say very sad, with a great deal of satisfaction in the way things have turned out. I think finally India as a country, we are getting to the point where significant parts of our telecom network will be homegrown, and we will be reasonably strong players in the world, as we should be. And I think, as I said, so much I've received that the remaining, whatever I'm going to do is only to see how I can give, how I can help, particularly youngsters who are definitely having much bigger ambitions, much bigger dreams, how to help them make those a reality. So I want to thank this institute. As I started here as a student, I continued as a faculty member, then as I was administrator also. It's been, 75% of my life has been associated with this institute. So I can't thank the institute enough. I can't thank the current director, the board of governors for this honor, and I hope the remaining time I can do justice and do something at least to earn the enormous amount of support and encouragement I've received. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Bhaskar. We now move on to our teaching award. So I invite the Dean of Alumni and Corporate Relations to announce the Srimati Marti Annapurna Gurunath Award for Excellence in Teaching for the academic year 21-22, and to also read the citation for the awardee. May I also request our chief guest to present the award.
Good afternoon. It's my delight to present the awardees for the Marti Annapurna Gurunath Excellence in Teaching. The committee this year was found two recipients to be equally qualified, Dr. Anubhav Roy from the Department of Applied Mechanics and Dr. Mitesh Khapra from the Department of Computer Science. I will read the citation for the two of them. Dr. Anubhav Roy received his BTech degree in Civil Engineering from IIT Varanasi, following which he joined the PhD program in Engineering Mechanics at the JNC-ASR, Bangalore. He received the prestigious Geophysical Fluid Dynamics Fellowship from the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute during his PhD. After completing his PhD, Dr. Roy joined Cornell University in 2012 as a postdoctoral fellow in the School of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering. After his postdoc stint, he joined the Department of Applied Mechanics at IIT Madras in 2016. Dr. Roy's research interests lie in theoretical fluid mechanics, focusing on hydrodynamic instabilities in suspension dynamics. In 2020, he was awarded the Young Scientist Award from the Indian National Science Academy for his identification of singular eigenfunctions in the hydrodynamic stability of vortex columns and the application of the theories to geophysical flows. He is also the recipient of the Prakash Fellowship, a faculty externship instituted with the support of the class of 1978. In recognition of his research and teaching activities, Dr. Roy was awarded the Young Faculty Recognition Award in 2020. At IIT Madras, Dr. Roy has taught multiple courses, both at the undergraduate and graduate level, niche electives, NPTEL courses, and even lecture modules for Gyan and STC programs. His teaching engagements aspire towards a singular philosophy: the beauty of science lies at the intersection of research and teaching. He always strives to intertwine the course curricula with exciting and often contemporary research questions. So far, he has introduced 2 new electives in the Department of Applied Mechanics and has also been part of the team that designated the curriculum for the IDDD program on complex systems and dynamics. The Institute is proud to confer upon Dr. Roy the Srimati Marti Annapurna Gurunath Award for Excellence in Teaching for his demonstrated proficiency and innovativeness in teaching. Now, the citation for Dr. Mitesh Khapra. Dr. Mitesh Khapra is an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at IIT Madras, and is co-leading the upcoming Center for AI for Bharat. His research interests span the areas of deep learning, natural language generation, dialogue systems, question answering and speech processing, with an emphasis on developing datasets, models and tools for Indian languages. Apart from research, he is very passionate about teaching and believes in igniting young minds by instilling a passion for learning. He loves teaching large classes as it gives him an opportunity to make a difference to the lives of many students in every offering of the course. His philosophy of focusing on the basics, leaving no student behind, and making students think on their own has made him very popular with the students. His NPTEL course on deep learning is one of the most popular and has benefited thousands of students across the country. The Institute is proud to confer upon Dr. Khapra the Srimati Marti Annapurna Gurunath Award for Excellence in Teaching for his demonstrated proficiency and innovation in teaching.
I invite Dr. Anubhav Roy to deliver his speech.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, first of all, to the selection committee for conferring this honor to me. And also thanks to Professor Marty and his family for instituting this award for teaching. At this point, I mean, there are many people who are responsible for what I have gotten here, primarily being my parents, my wife, Shajuti, and my son, Nutyo, who has been at the receiving end of this obsession with teaching, and primarily for the last 2 difficult years. This award, teaching primarily, is something which we imbibe organically by observing people, teachers around, and I have been extremely fortunate at various stages to have excellent teachers. Delightfully, one of my teachers from PhD days here in the audience, Professor Shenoy, from whom I took classes in the Indian Institute of Science. And this award, even though it's an award to an individual, for me, I feel this is an award given for a cumulative effect of many people behind it. I'm from the Department of Applied Mechanics, and we offer a lot of courses, large courses as a team. So we always teach courses in a large group, and the recognition that I'm getting here for teaching is actually due to the kindness and camaraderie that I have from my colleagues. I've also been very fortunate to have excellent teaching assistants who help me focus on the aspect of teaching and let me constantly move ahead with it. Finally, this is always a collaborative exercise for me between the teacher and the student. And even now, I continue to learn from the students from the class across different disciplines, across different eras. Finally, this award, after I received it, it gradually dawned on me the giants who have stood here in teaching and received it in the past. And I must admit it's a bit intimidating. But then, I mean, with these kinds of great awards, you have greater responsibility. So I'll promise to strive harder and work harder to do better in future. Thank you.
Thanks, Anubhav. I now invite Dr. Mitesh Khapra to deliver his speech.
Thank you. So I'm honored and humbled to receive this award. Now, one disadvantage of being almost the last speaker of the day is that you have nothing new to say. Everyone has already said a lot of things, but I'll still make an effort. So as you can imagine, a lot of hard work goes into winning such awards. So it's only fair that I stand here and thank all the people who have done this hard work so that I could win this award. So first and foremost, of course, my parents who have worked very hard their entire life to ensure that I could get the education that I wanted and pursue my dreams without the pressure of any responsibilities. And that has eventually led me to IIT Madras and now to this award. Right? Second, I would like to thank my wife, who through the past 6 years has supported me in everything that I've done, 6 years at the Institute. While juggling several roles, that of a new mother, of a woman returning from a career break, and now of a data scientist working in a leading analytics company in the country, and supporting me through all this so that I could have the time and space to focus on things that I like to do. I'd also like to thank my 2 kids, young kids, 5-year-old and 7-year-old, who through the past 2 years have worked very hard to understand the distinction between their home and their father's office or classroom, which was unfortunately the same for the past 2 years. But they have learned to give me the space so that I can do my work effectively. And lastly, I would like to thank all the students who, by choice or not, have had to work very hard in all the courses that I have taught and still have been very patient and kind and given me good feedback. And not just that, always kept me on my toes so that I could keep learning and work towards my passion for teaching. So thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Mitesh. We now move on to our Student Academic Awards. I request the Dean of Academic Courses to announce the student awardees to receive the awards from the Director.
For the best academic record in the first and second semesters of BTech dual degree programs, Shri S. Subramanian Prize, donated by Shri Sriram Subramanian, is awarded to Aditya C. of Computer Science and Engineering. For the second topper in the first and second semesters of BTech dual degree program, Sri K. Krishnamurthy Prize, donated by Sri K. Bhaskaran. Joint winners, Chagari Kaushal Kumar Reddy of Electrical Engineering, and Balakrishnan A. of Computer Science and Engineering. For the best academic record in the third and fourth semesters of BTech and dual degree programs, Computer Age Management Services Private Limited Prize, donated by Shri V. Shankar, is awarded to S. Vishnu Tej of Civil Engineering. Ms. Lata and Sampath Srinath Prize, donated by Shri Srinath H.S., is awarded to Girhe Puje Sahil Satish Kumar of Engineering Design. Shri Satish Pai Prize, donated by Shri Satish Pai, is awarded to Nagappan N. of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. For the best academic record in the fifth and sixth semesters of BTech and dual degree programs, Dr. Anita Mehta Damini Prize, donated by Shri Ramesh Damini, is awarded to Neha Swaminathan of Biological Engineering. Akash Dubey Prize, donated by Srimati Sujata Dubey, is awarded to Amrita Mahesh of Biological Science. MSK Chaitanya Verma Memorial Prize, donated by Shri MSN Verma, goes to Yakala Esvita, Civil Engineering. Dr. Srinath Sundararajan Prize, donated by Dr. Sundararajan S., is awarded to Akash Anand of Engineering Design. Ratna Award donated by Dr. Srinivas T. Rao is awarded to Sayanthan Mondal, Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. Professor K. Gopinath and Padmini Gopinath Prize donated by Professor K. Gopinath is awarded to Karthi Alini of Naval Architecture and Ocean Engineering. Electronics for You Prize donated by Shri Ramesh Kumar Chopra is awarded to Rishi Raj of BS MS Physics. Computer Age Management Services Private Limited Prize donated by Shri V. Shankar and K. Srinivasan and Indira Srinivasan Prize donated by Shri S. Rajiv. Both are awarded for the best academic performance in humanities courses up to 7th semester are awarded to Anishwar Srivatsa Krishnan of Computer Science and Engineering. Okay. Dr. Vivekananda Kochikar Award donated by Dr. V.P. Kochikar and Dr. S. Chandrasekharan Memorial Prize donated by Shri Sheshadri Nathan and Dr. Dinesh Balagangadhar Prize donated by Shri Mahesh Balagangadhar for the best academic record in B.Tech Mechanical Engineering are all awarded to Mohit Kumar of Mechanical Engineering. For the best academic record in 7th and 8th semesters of dual degree programs, Shri Madan Gopal Damini Prize donated by Shri Ramesh Damini is awarded to G. Sahana of Biological Engineering. Institute Merit Prize to Satvik A. of Biological Science. Dr. Anita Mehta Damini Prize donated by Shri Ramesh Damini is awarded to Shashank V. of Chemical Engineering. Shri Venkatraman Ravi Prize donated by Shri Ravi Venkatraman is awarded to Valluri Venkatasri Lalita of Civil Engineering. Computer Age Management Services Private Limited Prize donated by Shri V. Shankar is awarded to C. Gautam of Computer Science and Engineering. Institute Merit Prize is awarded to Atishay Ganesh of Electrical Engineering. For the best academic record in 7th and 8th semesters of interdisciplinary dual degree programs, Shri G.S. Bhuvaneshwar Prize donated by Shri K.K. Raman is awarded to Jagat Narayan of Computational Engineering. Ms. Pattamal Vishwanathan Prize donated by Dr. V. Kumar is awarded to Kunkolinikar Aditya Raj for Robotics. Institute Merit Prize to Roshini Shetty of Biomedical Engineering. Institute Merit Prize to Vignesh Natarajan of Quantum Science and Technology. For the best academic record in first 2 semesters of Master of Technology, Srimati Parvatam Ramalingam Prize donated by Dr. Manivasagam Ramalingam is awarded to Pavan Vasudev Poragunde of Applied Mechanics. P.K. Narayana Iyer Prize donated by Shri Mohan Narayanan S. is awarded to Govardhan Dushyant Shekhar of Clinical Engineering. Institute Merit Prize is awarded to Nayanika Sarkar of Bioprocessing Engineering. Dr. Mahadeva Iyer Prize, donated by Srimati Sujata Dubey, is awarded to Yashika of Catalysis Technology. MS Chevron Products Company Prize, donated by Dr. Ashok Krishna, is awarded to Jose Peter of Chemical Engineering. Prakash Arora Prize, donated by Shri Tej Kumar Arora, is awarded to Mohammed Shan PS of Computer Science and Engineering. Professor Vallam Venkatasamy Prize, donated by Dr. V. Sundar, is awarded to Manish Verma of Ocean Structure. Subrat Kumar Malik Prize, donated by Shri Subrat Kumar Malik, is awarded to Anuleka Majumdar of Ocean Technology. Professor M.S. Anant Prize, donated by Dr. S.K. Bhattacharya, is awarded to Patel Dawal Arvind Bai of Petroleum Engineering. Mrs. Lakshmi Ravikumar Memorial Prize, donated by Professor R. Nagarajan, is awarded to Aswati Sampan Raj of Functional Materials and Nanotechnology. Professor Gerhard Rove Memorial Prize, donated by Dr. P.C. Varghese, for the best academic record in first 2 semesters in Hydraulic and Water Resource Engineering stream of M.Tech Civil Engineering, is awarded to Arun R.S. of Civil Engineering. Dr. N. Sheshagiri Prize, donated by Shri Mohan Achyutan, and L.V. K.V. Sharma Prize, donated by Shri Venkata Lellapalli, for the best academic record up to 3rd semester of M.Tech Mathematics, is awarded to Shubham Malik Thakur, Industrial Mathematics and Scientific Computing. Professor N. Venkatrayulu Memorial Prize for the best academic record in the first 2 semesters in thermal stream of M.Tech and Mechanical Engineering, and a joint winner of the Sri Ramanan Ramamurthy Memorial Prize, donated by Srimati Rajeshwari Ramanan, for the best academic record in the first 2 semesters in M.Tech Mechanical Engineering. Both these awards are awarded to Subhash Nandi of Mechanical Engineering. Also a joint winner of Sri Ramanan Ramamurthy Memorial Prize is Rizwan K.M. of Mechanical Engineering. For the best academic record in first 2 semesters of MSc program, Chillukuri Ramashastri Memorial Prize, donated by Shri C.V. Avadani, IA and AS, is awarded to Saurav Mishra of Chemistry. Mrs. Kalaimani Natarajan Prize, donated by Dr. Amarnath Natarajan, is awarded to Naman Arora of Chemistry. For the best academic record in Master of Business Administration, Professor T.N. Govindarajan Prize, donated by Dr. P. Balasubramanian, for the best academic record in first and second semesters of MBA program, awarded to Sanjana Kumar of Management Studies. Dr. V. Kumar Prize, donated by Dr. V. Kumar for the best academic record in Marketing Specialization in MBA program, awarded to Savitri Kaura, Management Studies. Professor T.S. Rajagopalan Memorial Prize, donated by Shri R. Muralidharan for the best academic record up to 3 semesters of MBA program, and Swati Jayalakshmi Memorial Award, donated by Professor R. Nagarajan to a woman student with the best academic record at the end of pre-final semester of MBA program, Tanya Gupta, Management Studies. For the best academic record of first and second semesters of MA Integrated Program, Institute Merit Prize is awarded to Anamika G. of Humanities and Social Sciences. For the best academic record in 7th and 8th semesters of MA Integrated Program, Dr. V. Ravi Kumar Memorial Prize, donated by Professor R. Nagarajan, Varsha Gopal of Developmental Studies. Shri K. M. Ramamurthy Prize, donated by Shri K. A. Padmanabhan for all-round performance amongst CH, Chemical Engineering, Civil Engineering, Mechanical Engineering, Metallurgical Engineering, and Ocean Engineering departments. Vaidehi Mishra of Chemical Engineering. Swati Jayalakshmi Memorial Award, donated by Professor Nagarajan to a woman student with the best academic record at the end of pre-final semester of BTech program, is awarded to Sneha Srikanth, Mechanical Engineering. A joint winner of VRS Rao Prize, donated by Professor VR Satyanarayana Rao to the PhD student with the best academic performance in the first and second semesters of Inorganic Chemistry, is awarded to Arindam Roy of Chemistry. We also have prizes for the faculty who have guided the project work of students, scholars who received award during the 58th convocation in 2021. Bhagyalakshmi and Krishna Iyengar Award, donated by Shri Sudhir Sitaram Krishnan is awarded to Professor R. Sarathi of Electrical Engineering and Professor Ligi Philip of Civil Engineering. The following awards following prizes are awarded in absentia. Goregorkar Neha Sailesh in mathematics for the Geeta Raghupati Prize donated by Shri Karthik Raghupati and LVKV Sharma Prize donated by Shri Venkatalilapalli and Swati Jayalakshmi Memorial Award donated by Professor R. Nagarajan. Institute Merit Prize to Neha Susan Cherian of Humanities and Social Sciences. Dr. M.N. Dandapani, a prize donated by Shri D. Chandrasekhar to Sudapalli Sai Rama Krishna Parameswar of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. Professor K. Gopinath and Padmini Gopinath prize donated by Professor K. Gopinath to Kaushik Surender Chettiar, Mechanical Engineering Thermal Stream. Sarada Bhaskara Reddy Award donated by Dr. Ram D. Sriram to Razim Ahmed Ali Mattatodi of Engineering Design. Shri Jandalaya Lakshmi Kantam and Srimati Sita Mahalakshmi Prize donated by Professor J. Sobha Nadri to Gaurav Milind Vaidya of BSMS Physics. R. Padmanabhan Memorial Prize donated by Shri R. Padmanabhan to A.K. Satyajit Maji of Chemistry. And a joint winner of VRS Rao Prize donated by Professor R. Satyanarayana Rao to Kirti Gupta of Chemistry. And the Swati Jayalakshmi Memorial Award donated by Professor R. Nagarajan to a women student with the best academic record at the end of pre-final semester of DO degree to Sankalpa Venkatraghavan, Biotechnology. Thank you.
Thank you. May I now invite our director, Professor Kamakoti, to present a memento to our chief guest. May I now request Mr. Ajay Singh Sitole, the newly elected Student General Secretary, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, all of you. On behalf of the student community and member of organizing committee, I'm here to deliver the vote of thanks. I would like to begin by thanking our esteemed chief guest, Sri N. Lakshmi Narayanan, former Vice Chairman of Cognizant Technologies, Chennai, and our distinguished alumni, our director, Professor V. Kamakoti, for the presence and the word of encouragement for the students. I would like to thank our deans, HODs, professors, officials who have been the constant source of inspiration to all of us. I would like to thank all the members of support departments, including the engineering unit, administration, transportation, housekeeping, security section, and all the others who have helped in the smooth conduct of the event. I would also like to thank all the outgoing executive wing members for their valuable contribution in making the student life a little bit better. I end by thanking all of you for attending this event and making it a grand success. Thank you all.
Thank you. May I now request the audience to stand for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे